that should be followed. Okay, I'm not going in detail of that because I'm not sure why. Okay, let's start with the outflow. Okay, this was the first part, IPR, from the node at the bottom mode. Before that, the next part is from the node at the bottom mode, above that. So in this case, you will have a outflow, just the pressure drop inside a pipeline. Okay, and we are going to discuss what are different criteria and different relationships of the pressure drop inside the pipeline. So in any pipeline, if you want to conserve energy, you find that from one point to another point, there are three types of pressure loss. One is due to the increase in the height, gravitational potential loss. Okay. One is due to the frictional loss. Another is due to the kinetic loss. If the velocity increases, and also the energy in the fluid has increased, or the velocity decreases, then the energy in the fluid has decreased. That is called the acceleration loss. So if you quantify that, if you write them in equations, you will get equations like this: rho g sin theta f, rho v square 2d, rho v d by dl. Now all these equations look simple, but when it comes to actual implications, there are lots of variation in this, lots of variant in this. It's not so simple. If you have two phase, what density you are going to use? If you are having slug flow, annular flow, you have different flow designs, what you are going to use? It's not so simple as it looks. It also depends upon what fluid you are having, what behavior characteristic of the pipeline, the pipeline roughness factor, what is that? All those values govern all these things. Now coming to this friction loss, was one term that you all have read, must have read, Reynolds number. Okay, so this friction loss is based on that. So rho Vd by mu. So what is this? Rho Vd. Okay, I know what is rho I, what is V, what is T. What kind of two force it is? It is a relation of two force.
Inertial force.
Yeah. So basically what is there, that this F that you find here, okay, it is governed to find the value of this F, and RE was termed, okay, and based on this NRE different equations for F has been written for different values of NRE, okay. And Moody was the first of all to mention the value of F, draw a graph of F versus NRE for different E by T, different materials basically. Now this was what I was talking about, the multi-phase flow problem. When you are having different fluids or slugging problem, or there are different phases are there, and all these terms becomes difficult to explain, difficult to quantify. Okay. So what you will find is that rho m, you can write it as a mixture of the amount of liquid you are having and the amount of gas you are having. It could be a volume ratio, it could be an area ratio, it could be a velocity ratio, anything could happen. And in fact, to actually tell you the truth, different scientists have different relations, different correlations for the pressure loss in the tubing, and everyone is valid and true in their own compartment, in their own reason where they have discovered that. So you find different relations everywhere. Now few terms to really know and understand in tubing outflow curves is that slip velocity, hold up, and superficial. Okay, this you'll get to know. So slip, this tells you the mixture density that can be followed. Slip, basically what happens in the tubing when both phases are flowing, gas and liquid, and the gas moves faster. Okay, gas is having more velocity. So we consider that as a slip. So you subtract this velocity of the gas minus velocity of the liquid to get the slip velocity. So you can have a slip density where you have the hold up liquid. HL is the liquid hold up, and lambda L is simply the ratio of the volume flow rate of the liquid versus volume flow rate of liquid plus gas. Okay, so if you know this slip density, then you can have these equations. For slip density, then you can have this equation. In case of a viscosity, you can either go by the no slip effect or the slip effect. You can either go by arithmetic average, or you can go by exponential average. Even this is not a geometric one, so you can go even by some kind of exponential average. So there's lots of challenges. It's not so simple to do that. It's not simple to quantify any of these things in tubing outflow, especially the term friction. Okay. In case of bubble design, you can consider that the velocity, even to quantify the velocity, you can have either a superficial velocity or a actual velocity. Now, what is the difference between superficial velocity and actual velocity? Tubing outflow, superficial velocity, actual velocity. Anyone? Let's say you have a tubing, okay, and the flow rate of gas is Qg and the flow rate of liquid is QL. Okay, now what is superficial velocity for gas? What is the actual velocity? You have Qg and QL, you divide by the area, you get a velocity. Okay, but to get the actual velocity, you need to know the exact area of Ag and Al. Okay, because both will be flowing separately. So if you divide Qg by Ag, okay, so that is the actual velocity. But that's not easy to quantify. Ag and Al is, you cannot see, this is not a glass pipeline that you can see, okay, this is Ag, this is Al. No. So what we basically do is that we take superficial velocity, we divide by the area of the whole pipe. And this hold up liquid, HL, liquid hold up, that is the ratio of volume of liquid to the volume of the whole pipe. Okay, that basically caters to this deficiency of actually knowing what is the actual velocity. So HL when multiplied with VSL or anything, even AL will get you the actual velocity. Okay. The friction term is also, in fact, the friction term is the most difficult to compute in case of two phase, or in fact, in case of different design that you are having. This is the horizontal flow design that was given by Tattel and Doppler. The other scientists also have given this. This is based on the ratio of VSL and VSG. Ratio of the superficial liquid velocity, the ratio of superficial gas velocity. And you find in different regions, you find different kind of flow inside a horizontal pipeline. Okay, you will find a stratified flow, you can find an intermittent, annular and dispersed flow. I do not want you to remember this. But I want you all to remember this vertical flow design. Okay, this is important. Let's consider that the pressure inside the reservoir is above bubble point. When the oil comes inside the tubing, at the bottom of it, a single component is coming. Okay, so it's a single phase flow. As the oil moves up, the pressure decreases, gas bubbles are formed. So it's a bubble flow. As more and more it goes up, more pressure decreases. Okay, so all those gas bubble joins, they coalesce and they form a slug flow. I think you are aware about this, right? Okay. And you are not aware about superficial velocity. Okay, no problem. This is the superficial liquid velocity. It's QL by AP, area of pipe. The actual liquid velocity would be QL by AP into HL. Okay. And the mixture velocity would be the sum of these two. This is the slip velocity. So basically what you do is subtract the velocity of gas and its velocity of liquid. This is the liquid holdup. It's a simple volume ratio. Volume of liquid by volume of pipe. Simple. Now when we are considering tubing outflow curves, you will find different correlations. Dixon, Brill, Hansen, thousands of correlations are there. Now all these correlations have two very important factors, whether they have considered slippage or not, slip thing, and whether they have considered different flow designs or not. Okay. So slip liquid holdup is basically HL, and no slip liquid holdup is lambda L. This is the ratio of flow rate. Okay, and this is the ratio of volume. Now two things that just I mentioned, slippage and flow design. Okay, so these two things are very important, and another thing that depends upon these two things are friction factor, FTP. Okay, HL and FTP. Many of the correlations are based where the scientists have not considered HL and have not considered the flow design. Many are based where scientists have considered HL and have considered the flow design. FTP generally most of them have considered, because FTP has to be considered when you are taking drawing the pressure transient curves or the tubing outflow curve. So this basically tells you about the experiment that the scientist carries out to draw the outflow curves. These are different relations that we are having for vertical and inclined wells, Duns and Ross. This Duns and Ross, Biggs and Bills consider everything. Hagdon and Brown didn't consider flow regimes, and it did neither consider the slippage effect. There are ETC, big ETC. In the pressure, for the horizontal wells also there are different correlations. So now coming back to where I started, the nodal analysis part. So you get the equation of P and Q, you get the equation of P and Q, you solve that. But you don't get the equation, you basically get a graph. You get one graph here, you get another graph here, and you find the intersection point to find your operating pressure and operating temperature. This is the general look of the outflow curves that you are having. In this region, you will find that which part is gravitational loss is more dominating this region. Okay, because as the production increases, the flowing bottom pressure drops. In this part, friction increase. Friction is having more effect than the gravitational loss. Okay. These are the pressure transient curves from which it is in this tubing outflow curve is basically derived. It's basically formed. You draw the tubing outflow curves from this pressure transient curves. This is the nodal analysis. You find the intersection point and find out the actual PWF and the Q that you are having. Okay, you have the IPR. You are having the tubing outflow curve. The point of intersection is there. Pipe sim is what the software that the Schlumberger offers in this regard. It's for steady state. It's for multi-phase flow. You can handle networks. Lots of features are there. Different correlations are there. And this is the graph that you get. Analysis. Okay, so you can have different tubing ID. You can have different IPRs for different skins, and you can find out the different operating pressure and operating flow rate for different cases. Okay. Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to ask?